今回はウエストコーストのターセスというところに300人ぐらいの人が住んでるちっちゃな漁場ですね。そこで今日トレバーさんと3泊4日のフィッシングトリップに来ています。ほんで、内容としてはものすごく大きな魚釣れて、以前魚釣りに行ったことあるんですけどね、インレットの方でこんな大きな魚釣ったのは僕も初めてです。すごくすごかったです。What do you think is Toyo-san, this fishing trip? How was it?
Oh, it's the biggest fish I think I've ever caught in my life, and I'm old, so I think our problem is how are we going to bring the fish home? We caught so many fish, maybe 400 pounds of fish.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
beautiful fish.
Yeah, Max, what do you think too?
Okay.
You have
Well, it was my first time fishing, so going into it, I actually was pretty blind to it. I mean, I didn't really have anything to compare it to, really. But I thought that, might be an okay trip, just something to get me out of Vancouver. I was surprised, and I'm very happy I was surprised because it turned out to be a really nice experience learning. And it's a beautiful place. I've been coming here almost every summer ever since I was very small. So rediscovering this place and having, even more fun in such an amazing, coast is quite nice.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Tahsis was started off as a logging community and harbored some cedar mills and hemlock mill, and that's really where its main industrial industry has been for up until about 10 years ago. That was it, and it was always a bit of a sport fishing mecca, but there wasn't much opportunity for people to come in because the place was full of working logging residents. Since the closure of the mill, approximately 10 years ago, it has opened up sport fishing opportunities and properties for people who may want to come here. And in many respects, Tahsis is one of our, we joke around about it a little bit, that it's a little bit of a secret kind of quiet little area that is slowly getting renowned for the fact that the fishing is fantastic, and it's just a fantastic place for us to operate a lodge. Really, we call it a lodge. In a way, it's a chalet because we let people stay there, and we operate, give them their meals and let them stay there, and then we walk away at night and it's their own facility. We're looking for somewhere that wasn't crowded and good fishing opportunities that weren't crowded. So we did a fair bit of research looking for an area that would work for those kind of people that were really wanting to be discerning about where they were fishing and not being in a big crowd. And it took us a little while, and then, one man's fate is another man's fortune, and with the mill shutting down, and it opened up this area, and we had a good hard look at it and talked to airline pilots about the area for the lack of fog and that kind of thing, and settled on, thought, okay, we're going to start something here. So in 2005, we bought the property, and we've developed it since then, and frankly, we haven't looked back. And we really enjoy it here, and we have a good following, good clientele who enjoy coming here, including lots of other people who have bought properties now in the area and really enjoy this particular area. Yeah. People coming to our area are looking for Chinook. Well, we get some good coho runs and halibut now. Halibut's become a big deal. It's been fairly recent. We've had some regulations to try and trim down our poundage overall on the coast, but everybody's living with it. And to be honest with you, what we call the chickens up to about 30 pounds are really the better eating halibut anyway. So, but the halibut fishing has been good. We usually fish for salmon and halibut all in one day, and so the opportunity for doing that in a lot of other places on the coast are somewhat limited. So the Esperanza area is very good for that.
There's a lot of caves around in the area, a lot of trails, hiking trails. There's some lakes that people could go up to go trout fishing in. It's a little bit of a hike to get into them. But there's a lot of scuba diving. Scuba divings are very big in this area. There's actually been some fish they've found when they've been taking guests out, and they've actually never seen them before. So they've been documented as something they're just at awe with. They don't know what they are, and they've brought biologists up and people out on the boats to check and see what they could find. And so
and if you're really lucky, you might see a cougar swimming. We had one this year, and it ended up in the news and on YouTube now. And
another nice spot for people if they don't want to fish, there's a nice area. You go up through Nootka area and you go to Friendly Cove. It's a native reserve, and that's very interesting. There's some nice beaches to walk on. There's a lighthouse, a nice church that you could go, just pack a picnic lunch and wander the day away. It's very spiritual, and a lot of people have really enjoyed that. So,
well, I think everybody should come out and experience Tahsis at least once.
Yes. No, I agree. It's a beautiful place, even just for the drive. Even if you're not a fisherman, it's just a beautiful place to come and visit and hang out.
Tahsis is one of the last frontiers of wilderness where there's I think if people want to see some of the last frontiers, this is one of the last of the few that are left remaining. And the wilderness is raw here, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, and the locals, they don't want much change. They like, where it is now is where they like it. They don't want it to grow and to be over the top with other buildings and development. And